We've all been there. He won't date me because I'm too tall, she won't date me because I'm too fat, he won't date me because I'm Mexican or because I'm a Christian. These are all things I've heard come out of my friends' mouths. And I think most of us have been in that situation where somebody has told us that they won't date us because of something that we can't change or help about ourselves. And if this hasn't happened to you, you're lucky, but it might just happen to you. So you've been warned. And what is my thing? That I'm blind. Hello everyone, if you're new here, my name is Molly Burke. I'm blind, I'm really short, and nobody can definitively tell me what color my eyes are. And I think dating sucks sometimes, doesn't it? No matter who you are, everybody's had like some kind of bad dating experience. And now I've always referred to my blindness as my jerk filter. I've always thought that like closed-minded guys aren't going to be willing to give me a chance simply because of my disability, which means that the guys I do end up going on dates with, although they might not be gems, they're at least a little less judgmental or a little more open-minded. I don't know if this is true, but this is what I tell myself because I think that if there's something you can tell yourself to make yourself feel better, then you should do that. So that's what I tell myself because I've literally had guys say to my face in person, "You're pretty and you're smart and you're funny and you're totally my type. I would definitely date you if you were sighted," which is horrible and very hurtful. I'm sure you can understand. I've had people tell me that I shouldn't be upset if somebody doesn't want to date me because of my disability, that we all have preferences. And I totally understand that. I myself also have preferences. I prefer short guys, I prefer guys without beards. And if you're interested in more things that I look for physically in a man as a blind person, I'll link that video down below. But for me, those things are preferences. They're not like hard, firm lines that I'm not willing to cross. I think it's really good to have a little box of ideals of what you're looking for in a partner, but it's going to be really hard to find somebody that checks off all of those boxes. And it's even better when you're able and willing to date outside of that box of ideals, because you never know what you're going to find if you do that. You might just end up finding your true love. And I can understand somebody initially being, hesitant to date a blind person if they've never been around blind people, if they don't know much about disability, if they're not very well educated on the topic. They might be afraid to offend the person or do the wrong thing, which is why I always make sure that any potential partner in my life knows that I'm super open, very willing to answer any and all questions, so that they do feel comfortable, and it doesn't have to be this elephant in this room, the awkward subject that everybody has to dance around. Like, it's cool, we can have a conversation, and I think communication is really, really important. And I can also understand men being concerned because of the stereotypes that exist about blindness in society. Because of those stereotypes, a man might think that I'm not going to be as capable, that I'm not going to be as independent, that I'm not going to be able to keep up with him and his lifestyle as well as a sighted girl might be able to. And I don't know if this has ever affected you in your life. Maybe some guys looked at you and thought, she's way too high maintenance for me. Or a girl has looked at you and thought, he's way too much of a gym rat for me to be anywhere attracted to or relate to. But I think so often when you look past your initial thoughts and you actually take time to explore and get to know the other person, you realize that what you might initially have thought of them actually isn't true. It's that old saying, never judge a book by its cover. I've had ex-boyfriends who have told me that when they mention one of their exes was blind, or is blind, I'm still blind, that they get asked, what was the hardest part about dating a blind girl? And one of my exes said he always says nothing. Like, nothing was hard, nothing was even all that different about it. I just can't drive a car, and I bring a dog everywhere with me, which for a lot of people is actually a plus. I'm like a 2-for-1 deal. You get an adorable dog who's highly well trained that gets to go everywhere with you too. So I think that's a pro. And I've even had exes that tell me that when they've mentioned that their girlfriend is blind, people will say things like, "Oh wow, that's so big of you to look past her disability." What? Like, no, it's not like big of them to look past my disability. I'm a cool person and they're lucky to be with me just like I'm lucky to be with them. You know, it's not like a pity date. He's not my pity boyfriend. He's with me because he loves me and sees my value, and I think that's what a partnership should be. Now, I'm certainly not trying to say that all men should want to date me regardless of my disability, because you know, even if I was sighted, not all men would want to date me. That's the reality. I know that I'm not entitled to anything from anyone, neither are you, even though you're pretty great. Honestly, the last thing I want in life is a pity date. That is not what I'm looking for. But that said, I also don't think a man should not, if I'm like everything else that he is looking for, and the only reason he's not wanting to date me is my blindness, I think that's pretty sad. I understand that we don't always choose what we are attracted to. You know, I've had men say that they don't want to date me because I'm so petite and that they find it weird, like I'm a child size. And I get, like I said, I get that we don't always pick what we're attracted to, but I think it's really sad that if you've found everything you're looking for in a person, and the only reason you're not willing to give it a try is because of something that really isn't as big of a deal as you're making it out to be in your head. I think it's sad when people discount an entire group of people based on something that they might know very little about, especially when there's somebody there sitting in front of them who is very willing to help them learn and to help educate them. And I think when it comes to dating, we should all just go into it open-minded. We should all you know, be open to new opportunities and new experiences. You never know when you seek outside of your comfort zone what you might find. And I know we all have our comfort zone and it gets really easy to stay within it, but you know, take a chance, give it a shot. What can possibly go that wrong about just stepping out there and going for it? And like I said, that might be that moment when you just find that right person. But at the same time, you know, we all have a line, and know what your firm line is. Some things are preferences and they're flexible, and other things we're just not attracted to, and we can't change that, we can't force it, we can't control it. If somebody has ever told you that they don't want to date you because you don't have enough curves, or because your hair is blonde and they like brunettes, whatever it might be, don't take that on you. That's not your problem. That's not your fault. Don't internalize it. Don't let it weigh you down. Don't let it stop you from going out there and finding love. Don't let it hold you back. I've accepted that there will always be men out there who aren't willing to give me a chance, whether it be because I'm blind or because I'm short or whatever other number of reasons they can come up with. And does it hurt? Yes. Is it fair? No, in an ideal world this wouldn't happen, but we don't live in an ideal world. If the world was fair and ideal, then dogs would never die and unicorns would be real and we would all get straight A's in school. So unfortunately, as much as I wish that was the life we had, it's not. So if anybody has ever told you that they're not going to date you for a really dumb reason, give this video a thumbs up so we all feel a little less alone in this. Definitely let me know if you've ever had situations similar to my own for whatever reason. Comment those down below. And you guys, don't give up on love. There's somebody out there for you, I promise. Don't let somebody's stupid comments or view of you change how you view yourself. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.